Now, there's lots of different speed dating events that are popping up right across London. Alongside that, many individuals now use speed dating apps and dating apps to find loved ones or a possible new loved one. In fact, last year, Sunny and I attended a wedding, and the wedding of this dear friend of ours, she actually met her partner via a dating app. Seems to be the new way of doing things. You and I often laugh, don't we, Sunny, that if we were to start dating now, it's just a whole different world.
Oh, no, I don't think I could date now.
It's just a whole different world in terms of meeting people online, using a dating app, or maybe a couple of different dating apps, and then.
But I guess necessities must. If I had to learn how to use it, I probably would. But then again, it's just the way I used to go out and used to meet people is a different way. I guess something is foreign to me now. So therefore, it's always nice to learn about these things so that I'm sort of like interested in the way that the world is working and communicating and connecting with each other, because this is the section where you, like you said, it's just gone over our heads, and we'll probably have to learn it as and when we depart from this mortal world and you are left behind, and you'll have to think, oh, he's gone now. What am I going to do now? Hey? Let me find someone.
Well, we were quite intrigued by this new speed dating event, which is taking place in February, because what's interesting about this is it's a series of speed dating events taking place in London, Manchester, Birmingham, basically right across the country. But there's a difference because you can bring your dad with you as well.
You want to bring your parents?
Well, we wanted
not your
to
mum,
know,
but your dad.
We wanted to know what this is all about. And we're joined by Adeem Yunus, who is an English Pakistani entrepreneur, philanthropist and humanitarian.
Wow.
He's best known as the founder of the matrimony platform SingleMuslim.com, and also for the international charity Penny Appeal. Adeem, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good evening, good evening. You gorgeous people, you'd bring the server crashing down if you two joined the dating app at the moment.
Yeah, see, filters will do that to a person's face.
Yeah, very true. No, it's so interesting.
Come on, join us on Single Muslim.
Can you hear him? He's like, he's encouraging us to break up.
We are
air.
married,
Why do you not get divorced and then come and join this app?
Now, look, I'm really intrigued by your app because your
I love it.
website is responsible, as we understand from the stats, for over 100,000 marriages with nearly 4 million users worldwide.
Wow.
So it begs the question, why on earth have you now decided
to bring your
you're
parents
going to
into
do
it?
exactly speed dating, but you can bring your dad? I mean, what is going on?
Bring your dad, bring your mum, bring your brother, bring your sister. No, we are actually the granddads of the internet dating world. We established ourselves in 1999.
Wow!
If you can remember back then, the dial-up internet,
I remember
slow
that.
modems.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was just a desktop. If you wanted to use the internet, you had to go and log on to your desktop. It wasn't any of this mobile app and online digital, Amazon. None of this was around at that time.
So true. And you had to wait for someone to come off the phone, because if in the middle of you trying to do your thing and someone picks up the phone, like, don't use the phone, I'm on the internet.
Well, exactly, all the chat rooms and everything. So we were like really pioneering this space now, which is really kind of like almost chock-a-block now. And and I've never, like, SingleMuslim.com, people are saying, why did you set it up and what was the need for it? But the need at that time, I guess the need right now is that it's a need of a whole entire generation.
Right.
There was sadly a lot of arranged marriages and kind of arranged stroke forced marriages that were happening. And a lot of that were happening because people did not have the choice of finding somebody who's suitable and compatible, because our communities, especially in the West, are very dispersed. Like you said, we've got these halal speed dating events happening up and down the country. And, the reason that we're having those is because a lot of people, especially during COVID, I mean, we did these like 15 years ago. We've been doing halal speed dating events for a very, very, very long time. But during COVID, it's been so exceptionally difficult for people to meet. It's been unbelievable. And the demand is there. Like, we've got our members, emailing in on a daily basis saying, look, we want to meet somebody. We're sick and tired of swiping right, swiping left, people ghosting us, people, catfishing and all the rest of it. We just want to meet real people. And part of the halal experience is to bring a chaperone, is to bring family members, is to be escorted, whether you're a girl or a guy, whether you want to bring your dad or your mum or your brother or just a just a friend really to give you some company.
And it's also interesting because there's something that you just mentioned there online that you can be anyone you want, right? You can almost paint a picture.
True.
I mean, there's a documentary out right now called the Tinder Swindler, and you've seen the story and his campaign of what he did on that platform, and then the women who were affected by that still use that platform because they're saying that is one of the options that are viable options for me to still go out and date. So with this sort of real face-to-face kind of interactions, what I'm used to, where I'm, with more of a setup of an environment where you can bring someone with you to give you a bit more confidence if you're not that confident in going out and meeting people. When did this sort of come about, and when was this sort of like discussed? Was it during the pandemic you were thinking that we need to get people together, or was this something that you were thinking way before the pandemic?
No, it's something that we've done way before. We did this like 15, 14 years ago initially. And the initial idea was a lot of parents were coming to us saying, look, we're using your service.
Right.
But rather than kind of like genuinely, this is an Asian problem, right?
Yeah.
Rather than inviting somebody for a cup of tea and samosas and bringing the front room and bringing all the cutlery out, why do we have to bring them? Why do we have to have this fuss around at the house? Why can't we just meet somewhere outside? And we thought, right, okay, the mosque or the community center maybe isn't the right space because there's way too much pressure there. So let's have a neutral third space where, like the one that we're having on the 12th, this Saturday coming, is at the DoubleTree Hilton.
And how do you get yourself onto these, onto the list to actually attend? I mean, what's the website, and how do people, if someone's listening right now thinking, this is exactly what I want to do, I want to go and meet people, but I would be confident if I brought someone with me, like my friend, my sister, my brother, or my mum, or my dad, or my auntie who I really trust, or go to these places. So I guess, how do people engage, or how do they get themselves booked into these events?
The event is like pretty much sold out now. We've only got last five male tickets left for the West London event, which is on the Saturday the 12th. And you just go on to events.singlemuslim.com. We've got male and female tickets on the 26th, which is the 2 weeks after that, 26th of February. In Manchester again, events.singlemuslim.com, and all the description is there. We've got the famous British Moroccan comedian Fatiha Al Ghori,
nice,
who's going to be breaking the ice. So she's there. She's a very proud Muslim hijabi female, and she absolutely has me in stitches all the time. She's so hilarious, and she tells a joke. I'm not going to tell it too well at all, but like when guys say, "Oh, I'm 6 foot, I'm 6'2", but when you meet them, they're like, "Yo, how 6 foot? What? You're not even a proper 5 foot. How can you say you're 6 foot?" And you can only really see these things when, and like you said earlier, Sunny, in terms of the filters. Everybody's filtered, girls, guys, whatever it might be, and you don't get the real persona. You don't get that real kind of sense of the human. You get this kind of perfect Insta face and this perfect pose and angle and lighting. But what is that magic? And I guess that magic that like that love at first sight, it doesn't really come from an image. It comes from the whole ambience or the kind of the vibe that the individual gives. And when we've done the dating events pre-COVID, you can tell a lot about a person, not only by the way that they like somebody, but the way that they don't like somebody as well. You get people who are a bit rude and a bit snobbish and a bit like, "Oh, I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking to him, I'm not talking to her. Or can you get me a glass of water? Or where's the water? Where's the tea? I want tea now. I want coffee." He's like, okay, whoa, easy. I mean? Like, are you what kind of vibes are you giving off? What kind of a personality are you giving off when you like somebody, but also when you don't? And it's really, really important to meet people. And if the family's there, and we have got a lot of chaperones that are attending all our events, it's there's that added value there as well, because when the families come, when the dads come, when the mums come, when the brothers
can I just say, just listen to what you're talking about there, Adeem, it kind of feels like it's the kind of thing I'd like to almost have a camera just to watch, maybe like a documentary to follow what it is like, because I think if you are not from the South Asian community, or in fact, if you're not Muslim, you may not necessarily understand this type of speed dating. But I think there'd be a lot of people who are interested to see how this actually works in comparison to, let's say the quote, mainstream type speed dating that you get, which is very different to obviously what you're talking talking about as well. You're gonna have to talk to a TV company or something to see if they'll start filming some of these events.
Get a fly on the wall.
Yes.
The main difference here, and we've had it when I've spoke to the Tinder owner, I've spoke to Match.com group and all the rest of it.
Right.
And we were at a conference once, and it sounds really, like really whoa. You're at a dating conference, but it's just full of geeks and kind of money men.
Right.
And they were saying, what is the objective? How do you know you've had success? And everybody's like, yeah, but if you swipe right, you've got success. If you go for a coffee, you've had success. If you've had a one-night stand, you've had a success. I was like, guys, that's not what we're about. For us at singlemuslim.com, it's about marriage. And I guess that's one thing that these speed dating events, the halal speed dating events, are all about.
Right.
The outcome and the ultimate purpose is to find a suitable, compatible, lifelong partner, lifelong marriage partner.
And I think there'll be, I mean, that'll be so, music to a lot of people's ears. At the same time, I think some people were thinking, wow, to think that you just met on a speed dating and then actually there you are, with 3 children years later and talking about how you met. And we've got to leave it there just because of time, Adeem. But as you say, people can head to the website. The first event is going to be in London on the 12th of February. For more details, go to events.singlemuslim.com. A real pleasure having you on the show. And I know people can also follow you, Adeem, on social media at Adeem_Younis as well. Thank you for joining us tonight and I hope that you have a great time with the events. Pleasure having you on the show.
So much.
Take care.